Well, I'm Jordan Davis. I'm running for Draper City Council, and um, I'm just people have asked like why I want to run, and I guess it's a lot of just because when I moved to Draper, I noticed that it's a lot of a different community than people give it credit for. Everyone thinks that every person in Draper is this one way, when actually it's kind of a little melting pot of its own. There's people from different backgrounds, different perspectives, but people don't know that outside of the city, and I think it gives it a bit of a bad reputation. And I want people to know that Draper is different. Draper is changing in a lot of positive ways. And I think that the city council needs to be more reflective of the people that live in the city. And then that way can also be more effective at, helping its citizens if it looks a little bit more like the people who live here.
Yeah, that's awesome. Where are you originally from?
Tiny little town called Wellington in the middle of Utah. Price was our metropolitan area.
And how long have you been in Draper?
I've been in Draper just shy of 2 years.
What's your favorite part of living here?
I really enjoy actually like the people that live here. Our neighbors have been really, really, really friendly from the first time that we moved in. Always meeting new and interesting people all the time, and finding out that they live in Draper, and I didn't know that. And it just has a really good sense of community, because even though it's becoming a big city, it still has that like small townish feel where everyone just feels very connected to everyone in their community.
Yeah. Why did you get into politics at all?
Sometimes I wonder that. It wasn't my very first thing that ever would have come to my mind, but it just kind of been in the background as a possibility for a long time, because I had always been that type of person that sat back and wished that somebody else would just kind of do the job better. And when I just finally reached a point where I realized, why am I waiting for someone else to do something that I think that I could do?
Yeah.
So it kind of just, perfect storm finally came together, and I said, let's just go for it.
Awesome. I love it. So far, what has surprised you about running for office?
A lot of people were really, really concerned because of the way I present myself, that was going to like turn off a lot of people, especially in Draper. I sometimes even still talk to people while I'm not knocking doors, that try to give me like warnings about, someone with purple hair knocking doors in Draper. But what's been surprising is how much it's been either a non-issue or it's actually been a positive thing, that people will say like, oh, we need somebody different in Draper maybe, or somebody who hasn't lived here as long. And it's just proven to be something that either people are very supportive of, or really on the whole don't care that much about. And I mean, I was never going to change who I was anyway, but it's kind of been a nice little like boost to be like, oh, I guess it doesn't matter as much as I thought or other people thought that it would.
Yeah, no, that's good. What do you think Draper's top 3 issues are?
So a lot of it right now has to do with sustainable growth, because the vast majority of Draper is built out, and what land there still is to develop, we need to make sure that it's being used smartly, and not just, because there's been this long time thing of building 1 acre lot homes everywhere in Draper, which they're nice homes and they make good homes for a lot of great people and families, but then there's not always a lot of services that are being built up, or there's not a lot of extra infrastructure added for like additional traffic or additional parks or other things for the families that are going to be moving in. And so moving forward, I think that everyone in Draper City needs to be really focused on making sure that what is built is going to work really well for the future of Draper, not just for the now. I also feel that I mentioned before already that Draper City is changing, the demographics are changing, the city council needs to change along with it so that they can meet the needs of everybody and everyone feels listened to, because no one really likes when they try to contact the city council or the city in general and they feel like they're not heard. They're not, or because it makes them feel like they don't matter. And so I think that that's an important thing moving forward. And just keeping a lot of things that make it feel like that small town alive. Like we have a thriving arts community, and I mean that's my whole background is arts and education. I think that I think I can be a lot of good like a voice for that community on the city council to help them continue to thrive and grow and build more programs for everyone who's now growing up in this new Draper.
Awesome. Is Draper an at-large city council, or do you have a district?
It is at large.
Okay, so anyone in Draper could vote for you.
Absolutely anybody.
All right, and everyone should. What do you do when you're not campaigning, even though it's the middle of October and that's probably starting to consume you?
It is starting to be a little bit all-consuming. I always laugh that I'm not a person of like many diverse interests, but like we love going to, my husband and I love to go to the opera or to the theater. We love going to anything Disney related of any kind. So we still go on trips to California all the time, which are super, super fun. And it's a nice escape for anybody at any time. But other than that, you know, just kind of curling up at night, popping something on TV, curling up with a good book. I'm not the most exciting individual at night, but it makes me happy. So,
where are your favorite places to eat, shop, play, visit in Draper?
Ooh, those are good questions. So there's one place that we haven't gone as much as we would like to have gone in Draper is called Sweet Biscuits and Limeade. We've only gone like once, but it was so good because they only do like brunch.
Yeah.
And you know, it's really hard to fit that into your schedule sometimes, but like breakfast and brunch and stuff. But they're really, really good. So I love there. I mean, just you can't go wrong with like chicken fingers and fries when you go like Mr. Charlie's, which is really, really good. And in terms of shopping, I know that my husband's been really, really excited about Minky being right here, like having a Minky store in Draper, because who doesn't love getting more blankets, more warm, comfortable things. But I think those are some of the main places that like rise to the top.
Yeah. Who are some of your political idols and role models?
Oh man, there's a lot of people I could just look at and say, I wish I were like them. Here, if we want to go like super locally, one of my favorite people in the state legislature is Andrew Stoddard. He's done a lot of really, really great work from like working for criminal justice reform and also trying to work to help us provide with cleaner air throughout Utah, especially Salt Lake County. He used to be our state legislator when we were living in Midvale before we moved here. But I just really admire like how much dedication he's given to the community that he serves, which is great. And then, I mean, there's a lot that I can name off, but that's probably my favorite local one that I always kind of like fanboy over in a weird way.
Yeah. So do you have any advice for people who are thinking about running or might want to be a politician one day?
Dive in. But not necessarily the way I did, where I first declared and then figured out how to do it. That made it a whole lot more stressful. But like, if you're interested, there are resources that you can find online, like a year or two before you're thinking of running. Like, figure out what you would like to do. Is it going to be city council? Is it going to be state legislature? Is it going to be school board, local school board or state school board? Where are you interested? Figure out when the next election is for that. And then if it's a year or two away, you can find resources to help you kind of learn what it takes to run that sort of campaign, what you're going to need to know, what you're going to need to do. But don't be shy about it. Like, reach out to state party leaders, whatever party you are, and ask for assistance and ask for help. And they're going to be so excited that you're interested in running, because they're always looking for new, good, exciting people to get involved in politics, but they can give you that heads up. Because that's my one regret, has been that I declared first and then found out what I needed to do.
You didn't get the chance to chicken out.
Exactly. I guess in some ways that's a positive thing.
All right. How about what? Give us some fun facts. What are some fun facts that anybody who sees your flyer doesn't know, but might help remember you by? Like one thing I've learned about you in the time you've been campaigning is that you were on Jeopardy,
I was,
and
yeah.
that's cool and fun.
That was a super super fun and cool opportunity because I was always that like know-it-all kid growing up, but I kind of like finally came in handy to be able to do something like that, which was super super fun and cool. My husband and I also are like, not only are we big Disney fans, but we have like a whole Disney podcast and like
Cool.
Instagram thing that we do that we have a lot of fun with, so that we can geek out into a microphone and then find other weird people throughout the internet to share that with us, which has been a lot of fun. And you will probably not find a bigger cat lover than me, because I just, every time I see a cat, I just want to pick it up and love it.
Do you have cats?
I have one cat and she's so cute.
Oh, what's her name?
Chloe.
Chloe. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the middle of October. Election Day is coming up. When is Election Day exactly?
Election Day this year is November 21st.
Okay.
So it's actually the week of Thanksgiving.
All right. And do people have to go in person to vote?
They can go in person if they'd like. A lot of, I believe there's Draper City, and along with other cities, they offer early voting if you want to go in person, but you don't have time on that actual specific day. But the easiest way to vote is just by mail, because every registered voter gets a ballot mailed to their house. And so you just have to fill it out and mail it back, and just make sure that it's postmarked by Election Day, or turn it into a drop box.
And do you happen to know when when ballots are going to be mailed out?
It's really easy to remember because they get mailed out on Halloween.
So, last thing, what if someone's not registered to vote? What do they need to do?
They need to go and register right now. You can contact the county clerk's office, and it's really easy to get set up for that. And if you do it before ballots are mailed out, you'll still get a ballot mailed to you. If it's a little bit later, you still would have the opportunity to go and vote in person. And you can even register the day of Election Day and turn in a provisional ballot, and it should still be counted as long as everything works out.
Okay, cool. Thank you.